Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Next to me, as always, for The Last Stand is Jay Campbell. Jay is one of the leading hormone optimization therapists in the world, works with an elite cadre of doctors and people that are seeking to optimize themselves. You know who I am. And Jay, more than ever before, with our conversations over the last few days, we are, both of us, I know, convinced that not only are we the last generation of real humans, but we are living on borrowed time. But neither one of us is upset. Neither one of us is worried. We're excited because we know this is a time to lock and load and rock and roll. And this is not our home. This is not our end, but we're going to go out fighting. We're going to go out on our feet or on our swords. Jay Campbell, isn't this an exciting time to be alive?
It is. And what's going on, Jeff? How are you, brother?
You know me. I'm always 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
And much skinnier and much leaner and much healthier looking these days, I may add.
Day 6 of another fast today, Jay, and it's been a rough day. I got to be honest with you.
It's been a rough day. I think there is cosmic energy blasting through the universe again today. I think a lot of people are being affected. Personally, I'm having a good day. I can't, complain, but definitely I've talked to a lot of people today who are also feeling like a bunch of stuff going on. But we have some amazing topics. And then, just to announce, as you know, you and I are going to be interviewing the founders of Fluffy in about 90 minutes after our broadcast inside the Decoders of Truth. So I know we're both super pumped to talk about that.
That's going to be exciting.
A quick note on that. And I had a kind of like a vision / dream about it like 2 days ago after talking to my therapist, as you and I were talking yesterday.
Right.
And I really have this belief, and I hate using that word.
And she's more of a body therapist. You weren't sitting there laying on a couch talking about your mother.
She does deep tissue active release technique, and she also does cranial sacral. So her cranial sacral, she gets really deep and she can talk to me spiritually and stuff like that. But she's very, as you know, very advanced, for lack of a better word. And
absolutely.
She told me, what if that was, Jay, the key? What if the key, as we always say, you and I have talked about, and you've talked about it more than me, but all we need is a certain level of people on this planet consciously aware and unified to get rid of this, signal, whoever, this deep programming, that keeps people's consciousness below 200, integrity level. I mean,
it's the search for the 100th monkey.
Exactly. What if this technology was part of all of us who use it and push it out to other people was really the way to end it, just to get rid of the suppression, to allow us to, get back to unity consciousness. It's something to ponder for sure.
Because, I see your dog in the background, and it had profound effects on your dog, profound effects on my cat. Now there's 2 cats here, profound effects on both of them, profound effects on me, Sandra's daughter. When she first told me it, I rolled my eyes. I thought it was the silliest thing I never heard about until I saw it working and felt it working. And how many people do we have to raise the consciousness of before it tips the scale? And Fluffy will raise the consciousness of people. FLFE, focused life force energy. There's no doubt about it.
Put it this way. I have almost everybody in my group, my inner circle, has been using it. They've all been using it now for more than a couple of weeks. I've not had one person tell me that it wasn't, that it was, woo-woo, a scam. Every person that's using it is noticing select things in their environment, amongst their relationships, in their circles, talking to people. Yes, the animals, that shows that it's, of benefit. And dude, me personally, we've had it in our house. This is the 4th week, and I have completely changed in the way I emote from a standpoint of like when I'm in a business situation. Like I really honestly feel, Jeff, now that no one can get me off my game. You could say anything to me, and I literally am not going to put emotion into it. And as we all know, ego is emotion. Becoming irrational, losing control, being attached to, as Dr. David Hawkins, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show, being attached to positionalities, opinions, they're useless. They're meaningless. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your opinion. Nobody cares about either of our opinions, Jeff. Sure, we can come here and we can share what we find, to be resonating as truth for us. And I know a lot of people resonate similarly, but at the end of the day, if you're so attached to those things, you're not providing value.
Jay, opinions are just like feet. Everybody has at least two, and most of them stink.
Exactly. It's true. I mean, it's when you can get to a point in your life where you realized that grinding in, defending your opinion, standing behind your line in the sand and, entrenching yourself there. When you can get to a point where that doesn't matter anymore, my God, your life is going to improve.
Misty, have her go to one of our websites, Sandra's site, my site, the Serpent and Dove site. Click on the link. She can try Fluffy for free for 15 days. But Jay, free advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. It takes data. It takes information. It takes real world. There's a lot of gurus out there telling people how to get thin and how to get in shape. But you gave me a plan, and I put it into practice about 3 months ago, and I've lost 50 pounds, and I'm almost back to fighting trim. And I have to take my hat off you. If I was wearing one, I'll take my hat off you for giving me that great information.
Awesome, man. You're welcome, dude. And as you know, it's my mission in life is to serve other people. And I give my information out freely to pretty much anyone who asks me, as I always do. Anyone who's watching the show, if you want a copy of the books, just email me. It's jay@trtrevolution.com. I'll send you the fasting book, which is called the Metabolic Blowtorch Diet. And then our, optimization book, which is the Testosterone Optimization Therapy Bible, but it's so much more than just testosterone optimization. But again, just send me an email and I'll be happy to send it to you. But, yeah, man, I'm really, really glad. I mean, you're proof that all you have to do is embrace the plan and take action. And again, Jeff, so many people won't take action. We're in a world today where most people, and I know we're going to talk about this, so we'll just go into it right now.
Yeah, just roll into it. What's on your mind?
Most people today, instead of taking action, choose to escape.
Or blame somebody else.
Escape, what's the same thing? Escapism is the number one cause today in the world of people not accomplishing what they want.
Sounds like you're talking about video games.
That to me, for men, is the core issue right now. I mean, again, I've been, as you know, I did an amazing podcast with Cam Adair of GameQuitters.com. Cam's an amazing young man, 31-year-old guy, was a game addict, quit, now has this giant world-class organization. He takes men who were addicts at gaming and basically, conforms them, and gets them back completely productive members of society. It's GameQuitters.com, support Cam. But Jeff, I mean, I've been looking into this and talking to other people, younger people, and I am absolutely blown away at how big of an issue this is in our society, and like how endemic this is to so many men. Now, it's not really an issue for women. We can talk about women in a second. It's mostly a man issue, but men are literally wasting their lives playing this game. And it's not just these young, millennial, Generation Z kids. It's men who are literally coming home from their jobs, which are, most of these guys aren't looking for full time. They're underemployed. They're gig economy people, Uber, stuff like that. And then just escaping back into the video games, playing video games for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours. Zombies. It's unbelievable how unproductive our society is on the masculine/male side of things, the XY chromosome, because they're so stuck in video games.
Is there an attack on masculinity, Jay?
Oh, absolutely. And it's
why?
So as we talked at first, let's give the overarching history. At first, they attacked women. Okay. They attacked women in the 60s with postmodern feminism.
For thousands of years, really, the sacred feminine, the divine feminine has been attacked.
So obviously, depending on ages and epochs, it's been going from here to there to here to there to here to there. But, in the last 100 years, they attacked women in the 60s. They created postmodern feminism. It was a scam. They made women think that they should be equal to men and all these other things and got them all hyped up and dramaed out. And the reality was, and again, this is very, very clearly explained in Dr. Anthony Napoleon's book, Shadow Men. Okay, get his book, Dr. Anthony Napoleon is a cool dude. He follows me on Twitter. We follow each other. We talk to each other. He's a cool dude. He's a brilliant guy. He's literally an ex-CIA shadow man himself. He's telling people how it's working, how they're, persuading, how they're shifting behavior, you know, how they're manipulating us from behind the scenes. Anyway, they got the real reason that they did this with women. This is not, you know, being a misogynist. This is not me being like anti-women, was to bring them into the workforce, to create another tax-paying slave. That's all that it was. And then they got that done. They got that worked. And then the second part of the attack, which was two-pronged, was to go after men. And how did they go after men? They changed the family court system. They penalized men in the family court system. They gave men no rights. They steal the kids from the man. They make the man pay. He never sees his kids. He's not home to be a positive role model, to be the disciplinarian, to be the taskmaster, to be the normal, traditional dad in the relationship.
Jay, let me stop you a second. Sandra threw in a very interesting comment. And she says, maybe now they want to get men, and this goes right to what you're saying, they want to get men in the same place that they have moved women into so they can control both in the same manner.
It's the exact same thing. She's exactly right. Good point, Sandra. The truth is, at first, they destroyed men by taking away their power. And now, through video games, through mass manipulation, through lowering testosterone, through birth control, phytoestrogens, xenoestrogens, phthalates, BPA, all of these xenoestrogens that are annihilating our endocrine systems, they're creating men who are women. They have very low masculinity, very low testosterone. Remember, all the things of low testosterone, low drive, low energy, indecisiveness, you know, weak, effeminized men. And that's what we have.
An inflammatory statement. Can I throw a firebomb into this?
Of course.
Now, I know people have choices, and I know people love who they love, and I'm not casting any aspersions on anyone, but can we, and I'm just asking the question, can we draw a correlation between the explosion of same-sex relationships with the destruction of the classic traditional male, the classic traditional female archetypes?
Of course. Absolutely. I mean, again, dude, I'm glad you put that in there. I mean, I'm not going to share my opinion on that because I'm all about natural law and natural order. You and I know, Jeff, that it started as one pole, okay, descending into the matter realm to the world of form, which is where we're all in this three-dimensional realm. We chose to have a separation of the poles. We have a separation of the poles because that's how we can procreate. That's how we can produce more of us, right?
Right.
Now, whether it's good or bad, I don't really know, but I definitely know that it's not natural other than those two things. Now, I'm not saying that people that choose to be homosexual are bad, evil, wrong. I'm not saying that. But this, beyond that, where now they're trying to like create this transmogrification.
Yeah, the agenda. And Jay, the fact of the matter is, and I am supportive of LGBTQ rights. I really am. But the fact of the matter is, lesbian couples, gay couples cannot procreate. Now, you can get artificial. Yeah, you can get all these things that are artificial insemination.
I was just saying, men are having babies.
Procreate. And you know what? Back at the turn of the original gay movement, the original gay men's gay power movement, you know, we're here, we're queer, we're in your face. They castigated the people that tried to adopt. They castigated the women that tried to get artificially inseminated. They say that's not gay. And folks, it's okay to be gay, but the reality is that gay people can't procreate, can't reproduce. So do you think it might be part of the agenda to stop the growth and development of the human race? I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, all of it is. And again, this is not we're not casting aspersions on whatever your sexual choices are, you know, what you identify as. It doesn't matter. But from a big picture, the transhumanist movement, the cabal, the people pushing this shit, that is NWO, transhumanism, androgyny, melding with humanity and AI. All of that stuff to me is one movement to go away from the divine order. Okay?
And Jay, the divine order is a male Eloha and a female Eloha join together and become an Elohim. And the main reason they join together is for creation. And it's not just babies. It's creating every good and powerful thing that changes the lives of people and delivers us from a fear and guilt control matrix and lets us be divine and sovereign and free. This is the last generation of real humans. It's time for us to wake up, speak the truth, live in love, and damn it, it's time for us to get busy.
Awesome, Jeff. Are you shutting the show down? That was such a good close. But seriously, you're right. I mean, here's the thing. The video games, the social media, the blue light, okay, is rewiring dopaminergic signaling pathways in the brain. Dopamine. Everybody knows what the word dopamine is, okay? When you can, through social media and blue light and video games and all this tech, whatever it is, escapism, whatever you want to refer to it as, when you can stop dopamine from working from normal human reactions, which is like love, right? Like when you have sex with a woman or a man, that's when you release dopamine, you release oxytocin, you release all these biochemical things, and you're like, wow, you know, and bonding. You want exactly pair bonding. There's so much, but it's like when you then control it with artificial means, AI, blue light, tech, you're changing humanity, and you're changing humanity at its very core.
We're literally remaking the species.
Dude, they're literally trying to create an artificial intelligence man. Okay.
Shakana Rise works at Fluffy. She's in the chat room.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell her I said, what's up, Shekinah? Yeah, she's in the Dakotas of Truth now too. She's going to be on there watching us today too. So hi, Shekinah. Thank you for watching us. But it's mind blowing. I mean, the reality is they are trying to create a species that isn't human. And they're trying to get so many people bought into the idea that it's okay to be chipped. It's okay to attach themselves to this VR, black, goo,
virtual reality,
black AI technology, and just say, check me, take me. I don't want to be human anymore.
Jay, the gods, whoever you think they are, they were male and female. They created us male and female. And this is an outright agenda to undo, to destroy, to deconstruct, to debilitate, to deteriorate what is the divine creative order for this planet.
It's not even debatable at this point. I mean, it's not debatable. If you want to stay asleep and disagree with us and tell us that video games are great and that they pay people, they pay people money to be professional video game players. And then I have guys, reaching out to me talking about manual dexterity and it improves eye to hand coordination. I mean, come on, man. There is no value in a 30-year-old man who cannot talk to a woman, to any person, one-on-one, human to human, eye contact to eye contact. I mean, what value do you play? I mean, we're human beings.
And Jay, listen, here's the thing too. You get guys that are men that are still men like you and I. And I mean, we're not patting ourselves on the back. All we're saying is that we're still men. We're still alpha men. We're still living like men. We're still, we treat women with respect and honor. And the problem is that you get women, that are, by the time they're our age, 40, 50 years old, they've been dealing with these man children that can't look them in the eye, that can't talk to them, that can't step up. So they've had to do everything for themselves. They've had to be everything for themselves. They've had to move out of the traditional empowering sacred femininity. And now they've become these beings that it's a great challenge for a woman of today who's made it on her own to actually sit back and say, oh, it's okay for me to be a woman, and it's okay to let this real, authentic spiritual man be a man. You've got this back and forth, this battle that should never be there, and it's been created by the destruction of the traditional Elohim, male, female. So it still bothers even those of us that haven't taken their pills.
Well said, man. I mean, it's really, truly sad today to see how many people, we could beat this horse all day, but how many people just refuse to take action in their life and rather escape. And again, we're talking about men and video games, but women are doing the same thing. They're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I mean, it's like...
Is Snapchat that big a thing, Jay?
Oh, it's huge. Jeff, listen, this is what I do with my team. And I talk about this with some of my guys. If you really want to be productive in your life, do this, do a test, do a 48-hour test. You don't even have to do a 48-hour. You can do 24 hours, but 2 days is better than one because the second day you'll be more conscientious. Record how much time you spend on social media or in escapism, video games, porn, even surfing the internet. And then come back to yourself and look yourself in the eyes or the mirror or whatever and be like, oh my God.
And can I suggest that you compare the time that you spend in escapism and in Snapchat and all that stuff with the time you spend in meditation? Compare the two.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. You won't, you're not going to get any kind of comparison, but I mean, honestly, man, it's until you can take control over this. And by the way, just so people know, I check social media twice a day. Okay. I literally have 30 minutes in the morning and I have 30 minutes in the afternoon. Now that doesn't count this.
Right.
So when I'm on a live podcast and I'm broadcasting information and I'm trying to do my best, I hate that word try. It's such a weak word. That's our next point, but
try or try not. There's only do or do not, right?
I'm choosing to provide value to the universe. That's different, right? If you're consciously co-creating and you're doing things to help other people, that's different than going on Facebook, going like this on your phone, or going on Twitter and going like this. I mean, it's silly.
Jay, can I make a confession?
Sure.
I don't watch YouTube. I don't watch YouTube.
I don't either, bro. People
always have you watched? No, I haven't watched it. I don't watch YouTube. That's one of my weaknesses because I'm so busy, 5, 6, 7 podcasts a day and the studying that it takes for those. I had it easy when I was a preacher. 3 times a week I had to get up. It was easy to study for that. I do this 5, 6, 7 times a day. I don't have time to watch anybody else's stuff, so I don't get a chance to take advantage of anybody else's stuff. That's a weakness, but I don't watch YouTube. I don't do Instagram. I do have an Instagram account now to pump this up. I don't know what a Snapchat is. I don't do it.
It's funny. I don't think any real content producers, super conscious co-creators have any time to watch anything.
I guarantee you Rex Bear doesn't watch YouTube.
No, I just did a huge whiteboard meeting with my 2 business partners on Friday, and we got really, really deep and intentional with everything we do in our life. And every single one of us was very open, admitted that we don't watch anything on anywhere. Yeah. The people that were with us there were like, oh, well, you guys need to check this out, or you need to watch this person. We're like, dudes, we don't have time.
Sandra and I deleted our Facebook months ago.
We're doing our own stuff and we're putting out what we're putting out. And Jeff, I always say this, how many of your podcasts that you've put out in the last 5 years have you actually watched front to back? I bet you the answer is 0.
Jay, I don't think I watched the interview that we did with you and Monica. I watched about half of that. And that's Sandra asked me the same question. Don't you watch your video? No, I've never watched one of my videos start to finish. Never.
And no offense to anybody we've done interviews with, or you may be watching this right now, blessed to do interviews with you and talk to you guys, but I'm the same way. And it's not because I don't want to watch amazing interviews, because I know we're providing awesome value because we get that feedback. But Jeff, you're right. It's a time constraint.
I don't have the time, Jay.
We're living our lives, man. We're consciously producing and creating, and we don't have time to go back. Now, that doesn't mean that there hasn't been, people have sent me clips of like, you got to listen to this 30 seconds, or you got to listen to this 90 seconds. And sometimes that's been, me and you, or me and Rex, or me and somebody in the Dakotas of Truth that I interviewed. And they want me to listen to it because they're like, wow, and that's cool. And I hit it, but I don't have time to sit here and go back and look at this stuff. There's no doubt. I'm with you, man.
I do have to admit, though, I will watch most of Sandra's videos start to finish, but hers are only, 12, 15, 18, 20 minutes. That's the truth. I got to be honest. That just resonated in my mind, and I realized I wasn't totally true.
But 15 to 20 minutes, right? Like all my podcasts on TOT Revolution are between 45 and 60 minutes. And every now and then I go over when I have a fascinating person, and people are always like, man, it's amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm always giving them back, but I'm not watching them. No. I really don't have time to watch them.
I was there live. I don't go to a hockey game and then go home and watch the replay. I was there.
Exactly.
What's next, Jay?
So the power of words.
They're either building blocks or wrecking balls for your life, your words.
I am so mind blown walking around on the streets today at how weak the conscious word languaging is of most people. Now, again, this is not a judgmental statement.
Right.
But when you use the words try, should, could, would, all of these pathetic, weak, disempowering words, you're basically telling people of higher conscious that you lack inner work, man, and that you need to do the work. You need to look within. I am so mind blown, Jeff, at how many people today are constantly searching external. They're paying this coach, that coach, this coach, that coach, when the answer is staring back at them if they would just look in the mirror. It's unbelievable how bad it's gotten. I'm talking extremely educated human beings, extremely successful, making money, and they use language that's so weak. And I have to admit, when I first met Monica, I have a very strong command of the English language. And I used to use weak words because I was not trusting of myself. I did not love myself. I did not feel confident about myself. And through a lot of work and focus, I have chosen to use stronger words. Now, I still make mistakes. I still slip up. I said try in this conversation and caught myself. But you really should, there it is, should, as a person watching this podcast today, consciously choose to use stronger words. It's simple. Google powerful word languaging. It's all, by the way, all of the powerful words are in David Hawkins' book, which is our next bullet point. I don't want to talk about that right now because I want to talk about this, but it's very simple to understand what's a powerful word. When you speak with power, people of high and low conscious listen.
That's right.
It's that simple.
And people always say to me, Jeff, you walk into a room and everybody listens. You speak and everybody listens because I know how to speak. And I do it with intention. And once you practice it for 20 or 30 years, it becomes automatic.
It's absolutely true.
Jay, today, people spend more time looking in mirrors than ever before and less time ever seeing themselves.
It's unbelievable. Well, again, we talked about that a million times. Obesity. What are people looking at?
They're looking at a whole lot more than there needs to be of what they're looking at.
But they're not seeing what's there.
You know what? Take a picture of yourself. Don't just look in the mirror. Get down to your underwear. Turn to the side. Turn to the other side. Turn to the front. Take a picture. I did it. And that's what got me motivated because it wasn't pretty, ladies and gentlemen.
And you know, so many people.
It wasn't pretty. I look like Buddha's big brother.
So many people get caught up in the idea that, oh, you guys are narcissistic. It's not about aesthetics. It's about the spirit. Again, how many times are we going to say? When you're physiologically in poor condition, the spirit is not downloading into your body very much, man.
It's
you
not.
are blocked from receiving the spirit because you do not value the vessel that your soul made a contract and chose to come into. And I got news for you. If you don't believe that, then sign off this program right now because that is the truth. You chose the body that you're in right now. And if you don't respect,
they want to keep you sick and tired.
If you do not respect your body, that's on you. Sure, the environment's at war. The cabal's at war with us. They are trying to enslave us. They're trying to keep us down, change our sexual identification. They're doing all these things, but guess what? It's still a choice. And people like me and you are giving you actionable items and data to do and be so that you don't end up the way they want you to, which is fat, sick, with your head down, unable to receive downloads, chakras blocked.
Stop going through the drive-thru. Stop eating carbs after 6 p.m. Don't eat anything white. It's not hard.
It's not.
Those three things will get you from where you are to probably 3/4 of the way where you want to be.
It's not hard, man. So many people have victim consciousness today, Jeff. There's always somebody else to blame.
But when you start satiating your desires to watch pornography and satiating your desires for escapism and satiating your desires for the dopamine high that comes through the video games, then your physical appetites kick in too. And Jay, we live in a world of addicts. Everybody wants to point at the heroin addict and the drug addict and the alcohol addict. They're all addicts.
Right. It's all escapism. Everything that people choose to do to take their consciousness less, to avoid this, which is reality in the physical realm, it's all escapism. It doesn't matter. Drugs, food, alcohol, sugar, politics, passive aggressive behavior, suboptimal hormones. I could go on and on and on and on. It's a choice. You don't have to live that way. But if you choose to live that way, it's because you don't want to accept what is real. And what is real is your physical body ambulating through your life. And your life can be as great or as horrible as you make it out to be. It's just like my brother.
You know who's to blame, Jay? You are. We are our own. There's nobody to blame but the guy or girl that looks in the mirror at you.
You get what you deserve. If you don't believe that or think that or accept that as a truism, it's on you, dude.
You're done. You get what you deserve in your relationships. You get what you deserve in your body. You get what you deserve in your job. You get what you deserve in your mind. You get what you deserve in your emotions, because what you settle for and accept, you've decided this is what I deserve. And guess what, cousin? Only one person can change it. If you get into the mind changing business, I guarantee you business is a boom. And Sandra says it's not, we're not who we want. We're who we are, and we're who we are is because of what we do.
Dude, let me tell you something on what we just said. That was brilliant, by the way, what you just said.
I have my moments.
I've battled this statement for a while in my life because I've had people come at me and say, oh, so you get what you deserve. So if you're born in Bangladesh with one arm and one eye and, you know, missing a hand, and your parents are poverty stricken, and you're going to every day you wake up and you're eaten by flies. Well, at my level of spirituality now, I realize that that person is paying off some serious karmic debts for a previous existence, a previous incarnation, for whatever it is that that person did. And again, there's no judgment in that statement, but that is what happens. And even that person still has a choice, Jeff, to make a better life. What about that little guy, you know, who's on all those famous, you know, shows where he has no arms and legs and he's a motivational speaker?
Yeah.
Anyone, through the perseverance, belief in themselves, reliance on a higher power, can go anywhere they want. And by the way, and I'll just say this right now, if you're an atheist and you think you're going to go that far, David Hawkins says, and we can segue right into David Hawkins. David Hawkins says, well, if you ignore God, then how do you expect to get the greatness of God?
You can't.
It's a truth, man. It's a truth.
You know what, Jay? Are most people hiding behind atheism and escapism because they don't believe they deserve the greatness of God?
Of course. Of course. When you are so insecure in your life and you hate yourself so much, of course you're going to hide. Of course you're going to blame. Of course you're going to have positionalities that determine why you are the way you are. That's the way people are. Remember, dude, the ego craves drama.
Yeah.
The ego loves drama. It's like life. It's life fuel, drama. That's what people want. It's unbelievable. I remember when I was in that too, I would always like get into arguments with people just to get into arguments with them. You say black, I say white. I mean, it's insanity. Oh, this is my line and you can't cross my line. And if you try to cross my line, man, I mean, that's the way people are. And again, it's just egoic, silly behavior where you attach yourself to positionalities, opinions, same thing. And don't question my opinions, bro.
You know what? And Sophia doesn't like when I say this, but that's what stupid people say. Stupid people, and ignorance means you don't have the knowledge. Stupid is the knowledge is available and you won't take it. If you are so tied into your opinions that you won't listen to anything else, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're locking yourself in. 40, 50, 60 years old, do you really think you've got, by that time, the accumulation of all the knowledge of the universe, and you're really that damn smart that you can say, this is my opinion, and I'm sticking with it? Good luck.
It's It's mind-blowing. I mean, for someone like me, again, a scientist, a rationalist, an empiricist, you know, I used to believe that there were laws of nature and there were scientific laws and you couldn't usurp them. And there was, you know, you're hemmed in and boxed in, and that's just rationalism and scientism and empiricism. And then I realized when I started reading about the quantum and I started waking up and I started having my mass awakening, like my dog back there. Do you see him start waking up a little bit?
Yeah.
I literally, that's when I felt, not thought, felt the quantum. And the quantum tells you that everything is possible. And if you deny that, then you're not ready. You're not ready to receive, to accept, however you want to define it, what is. It's that simple. DNA is changeable. We have the ability to augment as we live our DNA. Just because your mom was fat and her mom was fat and her mom was fat doesn't make you have to be fat.
Nope.
You choose to not be fat. If you had all these people in your family, coronary heart disease, it runs in my family. It's genetic. I'm going to have.
Nobody runs in your family. That's why they have heart attacks all the time.
Dude, it is amazing how sick care, illness medicine teaches people that sickness and disease is genetic. It's unbelievable. It's another way to baptize the physicians into believing that the pharmaceutical company controls the long-term outcomes of humanity. That's the way it works.
How many people have maladies that doctors say, oh, these are real sicknesses. We're going to give you real pills, and these are real things. How many people have these things that are real, that are nothing but psychosomatic disorders causing disease in their body, and they're not going to get deliverance from a pill. They're not going to get deliverance from a guy in a white coat. The only thing that's going to set them free is when they set this free.
So I'm very opinionated on the statement. We can make a short sieg to talk about this because it's perfectly relevant. And Jeff and I were just talking about this yesterday. 100% of all disease, 100%, at some point, the etiology, the root cause of all disease will be proven metabolic in nature. Now, to the non-clinical community, the folks watching this right now, that means that everything that you stuff into your pie hole is what ultimately causes cellular issues, okay? Degradation, inflammation. Degradation and inflammation leads to inflammation, which ultimately causes disease, right? There are many diseases of aging. But here's the thing, and this is what Jeff and I were talking about yesterday. And I did not say this or think this 5 years ago. But I now know this to be true. This is not an opinion. This is an internal knowing. This is a lot of study. This is a lot of meditation. This is a lot of contemplation. And believe me, guys, I've studied beyond belief on this. Disease is psychosomatic. Now, I don't mean that you create it, you make it up. It's real. It's physiologic. But because you do not know how to release the stress that you manifest from survival programming of life, you cause your own disease. Every cancer, every heart disease, ailment, vascular effect, this is from people who never consciously release survival programming. And survival programming is day-to-day life, stress. You internalize your stress. You get beat up by a spouse, okay? You get mentally and physically and tormented and abused by your mom and dad, your family, your sisters, your brothers. If you do not do internal work in your life, taking ownership for that, you are going to ultimately end up with some sort of physiological dysfunction or dysregulation, which ultimately leads to disease. That's the way it is. I don't care. People can debate me. The science community will attack me for saying that, but believe me, it's the truth. If you guys, a great physician, a great doctor, a great book to read is Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. He's got a couple other books. But this is a brilliant man, and he has literally broken all of this down in very, very lay and explainable terms for anyone to understand. But we create consciously our diseased manifestations. It's absolutely, positively true. And as the same that we create them, Jeff, we also have the ability to heal them.
So, Jay, you're telling me that everybody that has a debilitating disease has somewhere along the line not released something within them that is causing this disease. Is that what you're telling me?
100%.
So you're telling me that if someone is still walking around with some type of a disease, they're still walking around with some type of a dis-ease that's causing the disease.
Exactly. And
100% across the board?
100%. Every single disease, pathology, and root cause, which is etiology in medicine, is created by some form of internal strife and dysregulation, i.e. stress. And stress psychologically manifests physically when left unchecked, when not attended to. How do you attend to it? You meditate. You contemplate. You ground in nature, okay? You do therapies, manual therapies like active release technique, cranial sacred therapy, all of these, Tai Chi, Guangji. There's so many, Eastern meditational sciences and practices. There's so many ways to release the physiological disease manifestation that comes from tension and stress. But no one today, and I shouldn't say no one, but the majority of people today don't do the inner work, Jeff. They're not willing.
Jay, let me wrap my head around this again. You're saying that if you have disease currently manifesting in your body, that means that you haven't forgiven yourself, released, or processed some old damaging emotional, psychological, spiritual issues within yourself.
100%. There's multiple books on this. They're all of these ascended masters, the teachings of the masters of the Far East. They all talk about this. What's the book? The Lost Teachings of Atlantis, the book of the Law of One. All of these books talk about this, guys. This is not woo-woo. I am a man of science. Now, this is not accepted in science.
That's a hard truth for a lot of people to accept.
This is not accepted in science yet. This is not accepted in medicine yet. But the doctors that I work with, and I won't mention their names, but at the top levels, the very, very, very consciously elevated human beings, they will tell you it's all disease comes from a lack of release, an absolutely inability to get you with a quiet mind into the realms of the quantum where you can heal yourself. Now, again, Joe Dispenza in his books talks about people who cure themselves of cancer without chemotherapy, without all the nonsense of modern medicine, illness medicine, sick care. All of us are capable internally of fixing what goes wrong, but all disease is from something that's gone on. Now, one thing to address what you said, because I want people to understand this. Some people do have a disease that's an imprint from a past life. Okay. Some people actually who kill themselves again. So there are weird karmic imprints that follow us into further lives that if we don't do, again, inner work, searching it out, looking within, silencing the mind, figuring out why we're doing these things, they can continue to go over and over again. But all disease, bro, every single bit of it is brought on by us not alleviating stress.
Does it all come down to forgiving yourself?
Absolutely.
All right, Jews are not the problem. You are freaking out of here. I tried to be nice to you, and you're gone. God, that pisses me off, Jay. People come into your house, you try to be polite to them, and they keep showing their butt to everybody. And this important of a discussion.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'm glad you're keeping up with it because I don't even pay attention anymore. But yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of radical, and I'm glad that you're allowing me to put this out there because a lot of people don't understand this. I mean, my inner circle knows this. I'm very big on this. I mean, I've been saying this on Twitter for 2 years now that eventually all disease will be proven metabolic in nature. So think of it like this. When you do not keep your vessel sacred, think of it as a car. You give a Ferrari crap, it's not going to perform well. You are a Ferrari. You might not think of yourself as a Ferrari, but you are. You are an amazing, chosen, created vessel of God. You're the holiest of holy. You are God, okay? And if you don't treat your body in a way that's worthy of being treated as a God, you're going to end up having issues. And then so over time, that degradation leads to you not feeling well. It leads to you being lack of energy, low energy, whatever, inability to think, focus, all of the things that we talk about, in optimization. And then over time, disease creeps in. Okay. So it does initiate usually from what you put in your body, but ultimately the breakdown is from you not releasing the pain, the suffering, the stress, the conscious internal manifestation of you being whatever you consider yourself as, insecure, not loved, victim, grudge, all those things. And Jay? It's all, by the way, it's all in the Hawkins books. This is very, very detailed and very, very well explained in the Hawkins books. And again, David Hawkins was a very powerful, very successful modern day psychiatrist who treated people of all of these things. He had one of the most successful practices of all time because he taught people the same thing.
Jay, this just dropped into my mind. Just dropped into my mind. If you don't do your inner work, it will manifest in your outer life.
100%.
If you don't go in and do the inner work, it will manifest in your outer life. And if you're still having things manifest in your outer life, it's an indication of, I don't care how spiritual you think you are. I don't care how much work you have done. I don't care if you pray 8 days a week and if you meditate 26 hours a day. If you've still got symptoms manifesting in your outer body, there's still something broke in your inner body. Get back to work, cousin.
100%, 100%. That is the truth. And by the way, let me just throw this up there real quick because I just Googled this on Amazon because I always forget the name of this book. And this is mind blowing. In 1971, excuse me,
inside job.
In 1973, everybody knows who Linus Pauling is, the Nobel Prize winning guy for vitamin C. Well, guess what? He actually wrote a book with Dr. David Hawkins, before David Hawkins became who he became, in 1973 called Orthomolecular Psychiatry, Treatment of Schizophrenia. Now that book is like, wow, why would I want to read that book? Guys, you want to read this book because they put forth this theory of what I'm talking about. Not as detailed as I am now because they didn't have the ability to see what I'm able to see from a research standpoint in 1973. But these guys put forth the same theory that all disease was nutritional in nature. All of it. Mental disease, disorders, psychiatric disorders, blah, 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 everything. And now you can take that information from that book. And by the way, that book is mind-blowing. And that book was shunned by modern science and they laughed at these guys. And remember, Linus Pauling was the Nobel Prize winner. But it was too far ahead of its time. But now you can take that book and that information and those theories and flash forward them to today, and it covers everything. Everything. You break down physiologically, do garbage in, garbage out, and then manifested stress. Like you said, victim, I'm worthless, everything. Go on and on and on. But it's all created by how you feel about yourself. And
Jay, this is great news. This is great, empowering news. You know why? Because we can fix it ourselves, and all we have to do is decide to do it. If you'll 100%. Get with me for LifeTrack analysis and repair, every disease you have will be gone in 2 months.
If you're willing to do the work, it might take a little longer than 2 months, but if you're willing to do the work and you have a powerful internal, belief in self to overcome whatever it is you're faced with, there's without a doubt, 100% you can overcome it.
And until you go back through it all, step by step by step, systematically, with somebody else that can hold you accountable, until you go through every little bit of it, all the way back to when you were a little bitty baby and maybe before, you won't be free. So I do the work. Do you really want to do the work? Do you really want to do the work?
Right. No, but most people don't choose to do the work, dude. It's just that simple.
Thank you, Michelle.
And the work is not easy. The work is not easy. Nothing in life is easy. The gift is in the contrast. That's the way life is. Embrace the contrast. Embrace the struggle. That is our gift. That is how our soul expands. And by the way, I got into a very awesome Twitter conversation yesterday about this. Why does God have all of these people, billions, if not trillions of souls in the universe, going through all of their trials or their trials and tribulations and their travails. Why? What is the answer? How many people can answer that? Well, it's for the experience of the experience. If every one of us has a part of God inside of us, God is also learning.
Jay, can I drop something on you?
Did.
I think every single deity that's ever been had to move through a period of incarnation.
Of course. We're all the same.
And here's another one for you. Just about everybody that's incarnation right now can move up into a divine experience. And cousin, I'm doing it.
In David Wilcock's book that I just finished, The Ascension Mysteries, great book, highly recommended. I don't care what you think about David Wilcock. It's not about David Wilcock. It's about a lot of what he's learned in his 50 years on the planet. He says that he's able to surmise that if you're 51% service to others, you're going to get ascended. You're going to get the energetic evolution, whatever you define as ascension. Maybe it's just a boom, you're into the next level, 5D, 60, 70, whatever. But you can upgrade who you are as a being by serving other people. But if you're in service to self and you don't treat people with loving kindness, not going to happen. Now, it might not even be bad. We don't know. There's so many doom and gloom forecasters and prophets out there. No one really knows, but all the ancient societies, all the secret, ancient texts, they all talk about a shift. The precession of the equinoxes every 25,300, 123 years, whatever it is, there's an energetic shift and time flips. And some of us, the wheat, are herded into heaven, and others, you got lessons to learn. There's no judgment. We're all evolving. Our souls are all evolving, Jeff, at our own rate and speed. We know this.
I think the universe is very dispassionate.
Exactly.
This is the way it goes. This is what you got to do. And when you do it, you're done. And if you don't do it, you go back again. And sooner or later, time runs out.
No question. For this physical incarnation, or for all of our physical incarnations, this meat suit body dies. There's no denying that. I get so many debates with people about death. Death is a physiological construct that is unavoidable in our present third dimension existence. Yep. Without question. That's not debatable. But your soul doesn't die. Okay? And when you accept that your soul doesn't die, amazing things happen in your life because
we can't talk anymore because I say it's your spirit and you say it's your soul, so we can't talk.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But back to that point, when you realize that you're not going to die, everything changes, because then that finite belief that you have of like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to pay for this. I got to take care of this. I got to get my grandma. I got to have $1 million in the bank. When you stop thinking in linear ways, and by the way, the two guys for Fluffy, they love that. That's the term, linear life. That's what they call linear life, linear living. When you stop fearing linear life, which is death, fear of death, which is the fear of time, dude, everything changes.
Bingo. Jay, I can teach people how to get out of their body very easily. But guess what? Our next step in our ascension, and this just came to me a few days ago, we're going to be able to get out of time. And I think I can teach you how to get out of time, maybe in 3 of those, because I'm starting to learn myself. We can step outside of time. Time's a fake construct. Time's part of the fear and guilt control matrix. You got to get, and it's part of the scarcity mentality. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. I'm 55. I'm running out of time. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's all bull. It's all BS. There is no time. You got all the time you need.
Exactly. That's well said. All the time you need. Guys, you're not going to die. Your body is going to expire, but your soul isn't going to die. Your spirit, your soul, your spirit, whatever it is, your chi, your prions, it's all the same. But the energy is unwavering, ever expanding, and infinite. Energy doesn't die.
That's right.
There are people that can see your auric field. Okay. If you could see your auric field in this limited 3-dimensional vision that we have, and you can't see it, but some people can, they have their ability to see it, you will see the energy around your body. It's like
I can read auras.
Exactly. That is your energy. That is the soul energy that encompasses who you are as a soul, as an individual spiritual expression. Dude, it's so crazy how many people are so caught up in religious survival programming and truly don't understand the understanding of our souls and our soul's journey and all this stuff. It's so mind-blowing how it's all been just written out of religious teachings, especially the
Where
Abrahamic.
are my moderators today?
Hey, we have a couple more bullet points and then we'll be out. And we'll go really close. So I wanted to talk
and we've
about.
We've got to go to Fluffy at half past the hour, right? We only have a half an hour in between.
Yeah, at 4:30. So maybe like 5 more minutes. Is that cool?
7:30. Yep, that's fine.
So people are always asking us, well, what can I do? Right. Give us some strategies, give us some solutions. We talked about metformin a little bit last week, but I wanted to just re-hit on it again. There's two medications. You think
we should take Cialis every day?
Absolutely. Men and women.
Are you serious?
Men and women. I'm going to get to it. Now, obviously, this is in the TOT Bible. Okay. And if you send me an email.
I must have missed that part because I read that.
You definitely missed it, bro. It's in the Agents of Change chapter in chapter 16. Now, before you freak out and think, well, is Cialis an erectile dysfunction drug? It is, but it's also a drug for many other purposes. And science is way behind.
But dude, it's a drug. It's a pharmaceutical.
So is metformin. They're all of the best drugs are not promoted, right? And we know why, because they're cheap and they don't make money in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, the pharmaceutical industry does make money on Cialis.
I'm gonna say, Joe, I see when I used to watch TV, every other commercial is Cialis.
In non-generic form, it's expensive. If you buy it through pharmaceutical pathways, it's expensive. But there are many research chemical companies that sell it online for dirt cheap. You can get literally an entire year supply for $50.
You're telling me I should be taking Cialis every day?
Let me explain why. And this, again, it's all in the book. It's all in the Agents of Change chapter. Okay. So the number
Jay,
one.
I've never doubted you before, but I'm on the fence right now.
No, bro. Trust me. When I get done, I'm going to blow your mind here in a second. But the number one supplement for all people, men and women, is metformin. If you're 21 years or older, you should be taking metformin. Okay. Metformin, remember, lowers your women. All men and women, lowers your circulating insulin, which, remember, insulin is what causes inflammation.
Yep. By
lowering your circulating insulin, you change and drop and massively suppress inflammatory markers and factors, which remember, inflammation leads to disease.
Yep.
Secondary byproduct, which is what most people notice the most and which most people love it for so much, is it will cause body fat loss, because when you suppress insulin, you change basal metabolic rate, which is your BMR, because lower insulin will cause increased fat loss. It's 100% going to drop body fat.
Can you get metformin inexpensively as well?
Metformin is literally dirt cheap. You can go to inhousepharmacy.vu, and there's many other online pharmacies around the world. You guys, again, if I'm losing you because I don't have a lot of time here, just email me and I'd be happy to provide this information. But you can buy literally, I think, 750 tablets of metformin for like $65, $70 through In-House Pharmacy, which is like a 2-year supply. Okay.
Wow.
One of the cheapest drugs on the planet. And remember, as I've said, and I always continue to say, it's the number one most studied medication in the history of the world. There's very minimal to zero risk. Don't listen to your quack doctor talking to you about lactic acidosis or renal impairment or blah, blah, blah. They're idiots. They don't know.
Jay, I was amazed yesterday watching that show, or a couple days ago, where you had the 4 doctors, one with the curly hair and they all said there was 4 doctors, and they all said that they're not allowed to practice preventive medicine. The whole medical establishment is about prescribe and cut, surgery and pills, period. That's who you're going to. I don't care if your doctor, doctor, he loves me. No, he doesn't. You look like a dollar sign to him. They want to cut on you, or they want to put pills in you, period.
That's it. And again, you can listen to people like me and my posse, and obviously I have the best doctors in the world who are all prevention.
That's what makes them money.
They're all optimization specialists. They're out for you, for wellness, to make you into Superman or woman. They're not about the BS of the sick care, medical care system. So again, if you have questions, come to us. But please buy the TOT Bible, the paperback, on Amazon. It is $30, but it's the Bible for a reason. Okay, there's nothing not in that book that's covered on health and fitness. Now back to Cialis. Okay, so metformin, number 1. Cialis, number 2. Now, here's why Cialis. Everybody knows about Cialis for its erectile dysfunction qualities / properties. Cialis is necessary daily because it does many, many things. Number one, most important, is it's cardioprotective. Okay. Cialis regulates what is called endothelial function. Endothelial function is the level of your skin and essentially your metabolic pathways to resist disease. Actually, Cialis in microdose fashion keeps your endothelial function amazing.
Are you saying women should take Cialis?
Absolutely, for the same reason. Very, very microdose, very, very low microdose. Okay. Now, other reasons, it's also neuroprotective. Now, all of this stuff is in the book, in the TOT Bible, in the chapter, Agents of Change. Most of this stuff is not known yet in sick care, illness medicine about this medication, but it does protect your brain. It's literally preventing Alzheimer's and dementia. Okay. They know this.
Wow.
And you're not going to hear this in sick care because sick care is 20 years behind Jay Campbell and his gang. Okay. But the reality is this is a very cheap.
Am I in that gang, by the way?
Yes. This cheap medication can be bought online at research chemical companies. I'm not going to give you any URLs right now, but if you email me, there's 100 of them. Just go online and search cheap tadalafil. That's the chemical name of Cialis, Tadalafil. And you'll find a million companies. You can buy a liquid 30 milligram per milliliter, 30 milliliters for literally like $29. Okay. Some of these companies are running buy one, get ones all the time. So like I said, you could get 2 years supply for 60, 70 bucks. Okay.
Wow.
You're taking 2.5 to 5 milligrams a day for all of these other properties. Now, I'm not even going to get into the other things it does, which are amazing for human health, but just trust me. If you want more science to back up my assertions, it's all spelled out in the TOT Bible. We have like 35 studies on Cialis, all of the latest and greatest. Stuff you aren't going to find at your local general practitioner. They're not going to tell you about this stuff, okay? Again, most men take Cialis for sexual performance in 25 or 20 to 30 milligram tablets. It's fine for that too. But what we're talking about is a micro dose, which is like 1/6 to 1/7 of that dosage on a daily basis for all the other reasons. Okay. I wanted to get that out. The last point is the importance of finding your tribe right now, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because as you know, we are very close, and I don't make predictions of time, but we're very close to whatever is going to happen in the cosmic universe of the shift, the ascension, whatever it is.
I agree.
People of awareness can feel it. Okay.
I agree.
We're struggling to sleep. We have all these weird things happening in our lives. We know that something energetically is happening. It's been happening. It's been going on for at least a year, year and a half. The only thing that you can do right now, though, if you're a person that watches me and you, that you're in these circles, you feel it yourself, is you have to associate with people who are like us. Because if you try to go to people that are asleep, who don't listen to this, who don't hear this, who think that we're tinfoil hat nut jobs, woo-woos, whatever, you're going to lead yourself down a dark path. And you don't want to be in that dark path right now. You want to be around people that can ascribe to your tribe. Yes, put it on. Okay? Because that's where we're at right now, guys. And remember, I mean this so sincerely and wholeheartedly. The only thing that matters is getting your soul right. You get your soul right by being in service to others, practicing peaceful, loving kindness. Okay. It's so easy. Smile at people, shake their hand, say hi to them at the gym, say hi to them in the grocery store. How are you? Be happy, be energetic, be positive. It's so simple, but yet so many people don't do it. That's it, man. That's all I got.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And it showed it. Again, I am encouraged. You know, it sounds like a lot of scary stuff. It sounds like a lot of gloom and doom, but it excites me.
Yeah.
Because I'm in control. You're in control. I'm sitting here living proof, and I haven't even done all of his recommendations. I think I started reading. I'm like, I'm not taking that. Sorry, Jay. That's just the way I was. But just doing 80% of what he says, I've dropped 50 pounds of body fat. My muscle mass is increased.
You're not even on metformin, right? You're not even using metformin yet, right?
No.
Dude, if you started taking metformin, you're going to die. You're going to be like, in 90 days, you're going to be like, dude, why didn't you have me on this at the beginning? And I'll be like, step by step, bro. But yeah, I mean, that's it, man. Metformin will change everything for so many people. Remember, there's a lot of people watching the show right now, and they know what metformin is. They're like, oh, my grandma uses metformin. She's got diabetes. That's the diabetes drug. We're talking about using it for life extension. Okay.
Well, I'm going to start doing it.
Ending your life. Yeah, dude, I'll send you a link. You have to start getting it. There's no question. It's for all the things you're doing right now. It's just going to be more helpful, especially as a faster.
Yeah.
Huge. 100%.
Well, bro, we got Fluffy coming up in half an hour. Where are people going to be able to find that interview?
20 minutes. So guys, please go to the Decoders of Truth in Facebook. It's live. I am going to tape it so Jeff can put it on his channel after the fact. And I'll probably put it on my channel too. The more people that they can have, the better. Now, one thing that everybody knows, these guys are talking about having a 800 level of consciousness field for everybody watching it. And then they also said that when it's recorded and it's on YouTube, after the fact, if you watch it, you can be in that 800 level of consciousness field. I have no idea what that's like, but they say, get ready. It's pretty amazing.
They're not going to tell us how they do it, are they?
Well, I think that's a question we asked them. And by the way, guys, if you have questions for the owners of Fluffy, please, while we're on there live in the group, in the group chat, ask the questions because I'd love to get your questions. Okay.
And I will not be running this. It's Jay's show. I'm just part of the panel.
Well, that's not true. You are going to be interviewing it. You and I are interviewing those two, the owners. So you will have just as much input as me.
All right, then. This is great stuff. And Jay, we probably should get out of here and get ready. Yeah. Give these people give these great people one last little nugget, as Sandra says, a golden nugget to take home with them.
Guys, I'm honored, blessed, humbled, privileged to be here talking to you guys. I truly am a man serving a mission of helping other people, which is you guys. If you email me and you want my books, it's that simple. You just request them. I'm happy to email them to you in PDF version. As I always say, if quid pro quo, if I give you something in return, please, reciprocate, leave us a review online on Amazon so more and more people can find it. All of our books are 5-star.
That's fire.
I'm not sending you guys bogus books. Oh, that's awesome. Nice kitty. But please, if I can help you, send me an email. You can also find me on Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm at TRT Expert.
All right. So we'll see you in just a few minutes over on the Decoders of Truth Facebook. I don't have Facebook. So Jay, I'll probably just record it right here I can record Zoom, I think, when I accept
you'll be able to record right there. Yeah. So I'll watch the questions in there and we'll do some questions with them at the end.
I'm looking for it. Yeah, I won't be able to see because I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll watch the questions and I'll just queue them up. But yeah, definitely for sure record on your end.
Jay, thanks for everything. It's a fantastic discussion we had. I'm glad we're back to doing this on a regular basis. And I know Sandra laughs when I say this, but we really are changing the world.
There's no question. Just so everybody knows, I'll be in Thailand with Monica next Monday. I'm probably not going to have bandwidth to get on this, so we'll miss 1 week, but then the following Monday I'll be back.
Where's your commitment level, Jay? Where's your commitment level?
If I have bandwidth on Monday, I will be on the show. If I don't, it'll be the following Monday.
Give my regards to Monica. We'll see you in just a few minutes over on the Fluffy interview. Everybody, Decoders of Truth, Facebook. In about 18 minutes, we'll see you there.
Yep. Awesome, bro.
All right. Take care. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you over there. Jay, let me go over here and say goodbye to you.